right, guys. Today we're gonna finish up the tiered heart that we started yesterday, and I changed my mind about what I'm gonna do on the back. Instead of doing the basic star, I'm gonna do the parasol pattern on the back. So I cut myself some 5-inch squares, and I'm just gonna get those prepped. Let me just fix my camera really quick. I'm trying something different, you guys. I'm doing the dual streaming where I'm streaming to the vertical shorts at the same time as the horizontal. So I'm gonna have to be extra careful about where I am in the screen, I think. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Louise. Get myself prepped up a little bit. Some of these pieces have some wrinkles, so. Hi, Nancy. Hello, Linda. I'm a little earlier today than I have been the last couple days. So hopefully I catch all you guys today. All right, but we caught Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Jenny said we finally got to 61 degrees. Good for you. It got a little warm here today, too. I'm not gonna be able to get all these wrinkles out, but we'll just do what we can. Happy New Year to you too, Patty. Good to see you here. Hi, Kim. Kim said, good afternoon. Just got the notification and happened to be right near my phone. I'm so excited. Today, you guys, we're going to be finishing up yesterday's ornament, which I don't think all of you were here, but we did a tiered heart. And this is what we got so far. I just need to finish up the back. I was going to do a basic star, something similar to what I did on Monday, which is this one. But I got to thinking about it, and we have 6 colors in the heart, and you usually need about 6 pieces for a parasol pattern on the back of a large hemi. So this should work out perfectly. We'll see. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Julie. Julie said we're hovering at freezing and it's icy. Where are you at again, Julie? I had team meetings yesterday with all of my remote team, and Sherry is up north. She's up in Michigan, and she said they already had snow, but then it was raining. So it was raining on top of the snow, and it was going to be nasty by the evening when it all started freezing again. You guys, I don't miss that. I have to admit, I'm from Maryland. Not that we had tons and tons of snow up there, but we did get some, and I really don't miss it at all. I just realized I need to find the center of the back side of my hemi. Luckily, I can still see my lines. You know, let me try to be really careful about this. So I was saying a second ago, you guys, I'm trying something different. I'm doing a dual stream where it's streaming both horizontally and vertically in the shorts feed. I've never done that before, but the shorts feed gives me like this little itty bitty window. So I'm trying my best to stay within that. It should be really fun since I already have a hard enough time staying in the bigger window. But be patient with me. If you guys see me like veering off and you can't see my hands anymore, please let me know so that I can get myself back on track. this should be my center right there. I figure if I just sort of like anchor my wrists down right here and don't move too much, I should be able to stay in the middle. Hi, Christy. Hey, Dana. Christy said 45 degrees and very windy in Wyoming. That's pretty chilly. Hey, Rebecca. Oh, that's right, Julie. I think you told me that before. Hey, Debbie. Yes, Patty, you have a really good memory. Patty said, isn't some of that part, some of that fabric part of an Easter egg pattern? It sure is. And this is like, these fabrics, these two fabrics here, the top two, they are like part of my go-to collection. It's a really old collection of motif fabrics. And it was called Rue something? Rue 1800 or something like that. You'd think I would know since I use these fabrics all the time. But yep, I had them as part of an Easter egg. And then also, I show this ornament all the time, but here's some more of those fabrics that I did on a Prairie Point pinwheel. And I also, you guys, went up into my attic and found a couple of old tiered heart ornaments to show you today. This was one I did a few years ago, and it has these same group of fabrics. And here's the pink one that I'm using today, and here's the white with the polka dots. So yeah, I go to these fabrics a lot. Here's another one though. There was one specific one I was looking for and I couldn't find it, but this one's really pretty. I was just hoping to show you guys a couple of examples of this tiered heart with different fabrics than the one that I did yesterday. The one I was really looking for was the whole center was all different black and white fabrics, different florals and stuff, but they were all black and white. And then the outer edge was all red. So super cool looking. And I actually show that one in the step-by-step tutorial that I did for the tiered heart, which you can find here on YouTube. I put a link below to that. Julie said, you inspired me. I did this pattern for my mom. The back is simply spiral. I'm so glad to hear that. Did you like doing the ornament? It's a fun one. It's a good scrap buster too. Okay, I'm not going to do any trimming until I know that I'm happy with the placement of the first few. There's only 6 pieces, so what I'm looking for is for the first 3 to cover about half of the hemi, and then I'll know I'm okay. But I want to make sure of that before I start trimming. You can see that I clearly did not cut my pieces very square. We're going to work with it though. Patty said, I love those shades. Me too. Pink is my favorite color. And I love mixing up the different patterns. I think I'm just going to put these on in the same order that I put them on the heart. Hey, Barb. Hey, Phil. think so far, so good. I think I'm on the right track to be able to cover this the way I want to cover it with the 6 pieces. If you're doing all the same color on the back, it's a lot easier to kind of correct if you don't get the spacing right, because all the pieces are the same color. So by the time you get to the end, if you need to make your little ripples or your little ruffle, what do you call these? I can't even think of the word I'm trying to think of. But you can like space them more or less. And you can't tell when it's all the same color. Here's an example of that. It was an old ornament, but they're all the same color. So like if you get to the end and you have foam showing or something after you get all 6 pieces on, you can always spread the pieces out and you can't tell. The problem with using all different colors like this is it's a little bit more difficult to camouflage. Dana said, I just love the flutter fold. It's so dramatic and beautiful. I agree. This fold was created by one of our designers, Monica. If you guys were in the club or around back in like 2017 is when she came on board, and she came up with some really unique, fun folding techniques, and this was probably the first of those really super unique folds that she came up with. The other thing that's really awesome about it is you can cover a lot of ground pretty quickly. I might have to start spacing my folds out just a little bit more. Rue, yes, Patty, R-U-E. I want to say it's Rue 1800. Let me do a quick Google search. It's from years ago, so it might be kind of hard to find it, but yep. And it's by 3 sisters. For Moda Fabrics. Yep, Rue 1800. Hey, just me. Mary Lou said, oh boy, another style. Love it. I'm gonna try to space my next ones just a little bit more, cover a little more ground. Me too, Jenny. Jenny said, I love 3 Sisters fabric. They're always very shabby chic vibe. Hey Paula. Paula said, just joining. Hi everyone. These fabrics are just beautiful. Thank you, Paula. Guys, am I going to make it with 2 more pieces? Cat Crane said, hello, pinning party people. That's what I should call it, pinning party. Oh, this is gonna be close. Spread this out just a little bit more. Oh, yes. Cat Crane said, finishing up my first playful twist now. Love it. Lots of practice with the flutter fold. Yes, the whole top and bottom of that is the flutter fold. And that is actually when Monica first, not the playful twist, but the first time that she designed this fold, it was for Easter egg, an Easter egg pattern. I might have to space out my first fold a little bit more. I definitely need to unpin it to get it out of the way. But I might need to redo that one a little bit just to bring it down on top of my last piece, because I got these a little bit too thin, I think. Dana said, I ran out of pins before my next delivery got here. My hands are itching for something to do. Is this what it is to have a jonesing for ornamenting? Yes. Dana, when I was first making these, like a really long time ago, when I was young, I was first married, and my husband was a Marine, and we had like no money. And so whenever I ran out of pins, I would go back and take apart my other ornaments so that I could pin a new ornament. Because buying like a box of pins was not really something that was in the budget very often. So that's what I would do when I was jonesing to make an ornament. See if we can make this work. I'm just barely covering that, but I think we can do it. Paula said, I can never keep the top where they all join neat. It takes some practice, Paula, for sure, but you know what? You can always stick something up there, a bead or a cluster of beads or like a flat back embellishment or something to cover that in the middle, any messiness. The more messy it is, the bigger the thing is that you can put up there to hide it. And honestly, they look good with something on there anyway, even if it is nice and neat. So at least it's an easy thing to hide. But I do try to focus on keeping all those top pins right up against each other, and that helps make it a little bit easier to hide any foam and stuff like that. Dana said, I've thought about that. It depends on how much you like the previous ornaments that you've made, I guess. Alice said, hi all, just wanted to say thank you for all the kind words and wishes for a successful surgery. All went well. Alice, I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. And thank you for letting us know. Mary Lou said, oh, you come a long way, baby, from those days. That was a long time ago, for sure. Barb said, glad to hear it, Alice. Let me get my smaller scissors too. I don't want to accidentally cut my fabric from the tiered heart side. You guys, I didn't even think about what I want to do on the edge. I'm going to look at my trims and see what I have, because Covering the edges of a hemi is a little more difficult, like with a fabric band, than it is like putting a band on a round ball. It's just more fussy. So if I can get away with just putting some trim on there, that's what I'm gonna do. Paula said, that's what I do anyway, but watching you is so enjoyable. Thank you, Paula. It is fun, though, to find something to put on the top there, and it's kind of satisfying when you have something messy to just cover it. Got my pin a little too close right here. I may have to go back and move all my pins up a little and do another trimming. It depends on how easy or difficult this is to cover, so I don't see all those raw edges. So I feel like I got them a little close to the edge on a couple of spots, but we will cross that bridge in just a second. Let me figure out what it is that I'm going to put there to begin with. Paula said, glad you're feeling better. Cat Cream said, I've wondered if cutting the fabric on the bias might help with that. So like stretching the fold, I think it definitely would. Jenny said, I've watched a video or two hearing about your story, Stacey Ann. It's very inspiring to hear how you've arrived at this point. Thank you, Jenny. I really appreciate that. So I'm looking at my trim. I have some trim that I like, but I don't think it's gonna really match because it's more off-white. And then I have some trim I don't like as much, but it's white. So I don't know. This is the one that I have that's off-white. It's still pretty. I'm gonna have to trim a little more though. So I have that. This one's not is going to be a little more difficult to cover everything, but the white looks good. And that one's kind of hugging the side a little bit better too. Hopefully I'm still in the screen. I might have to try this white, as much as I like this one, but I just don't know if that color is working for me. It still matches. Cat Crane said on the band around the hemi. Oh, yeah, maybe. Yep. Alice said, I tend to use that fold on the back of my hemis. It's a quick and fun way to finish it off. It is, Alice. And you know what else is good about it? It's like a subtle pattern. You know, it's just really pretty, but it's simple. It's not like stealing the thunder of the main pattern, which is usually on the front of the hemi. So I think that's what's really nice about it. It's a pretty feminine but subtle pattern to put on the back when the main show is the front. So I totally agree with you. I feel like I'm gonna try the white, you guys, because it seemed like it was hugging the edge better, but we're gonna see because I kind of have a little bit of wonkiness going on around the edge. I might end up going with a fabric band. I might have to go back and do a fabric band and then put the trim on top of that. This is gonna pull right through. Let me give it a couple of pins. Rebecca said I like the white better. Okay. Oh, and Peggy said the wider one for sure. It's so elegant. Jenny said both look good, but the wide one blends in nice. The white one is doing a better job hiding it than I expected it to. But we have more votes for the wide, so I'm definitely willing to give it a shot, you guys. The wide one is very, very elegant. This is a very, very pretty, shabby, chic trim. Now with this one, I definitely will not need a fabric band underneath, because it's plenty wide to hide everything. I'm more worried about the front because it's not laying down as nice. Maybe if I help it a little bit. You know, I just thought too, I could always do like some beaded pins going around, and that would really help to push this down and hide those raw edges a little bit better. Plus it'll help it stay in place. Let me give it a temporary pin down here to hold it. Peggy said you never know until you see it. I know. Isn't it funny? You can think you have something in your head, like thinking it's going to look good or not good, but you just never know. Before I cut that, let me try, where did I put my beads? Oh, they're right here. I had those pink, are those the ones I want? I thought I had a more blushy pink than this, but I don't see it. Nope, I don't have it on my table either. So let's see, I got this and I have pearls. That might be pretty. That's a little dark. The other thing I could do if I don't end up liking the pink is I could do clear crystals, but I'm thinking something going around the edge. Where are my gold pins? You guys, it's time for a desk clean off. Here they are. Paula said that's stunning. Thank you, Paula. Barb said beaded pins are a great idea. Paula said I like the pearls. Barb said, yep, the pearls. And Peggy said the pearls. Okay, we have a consensus on the pearls. I like the pearls too. They kind of fit the vibe, right? So let me get a couple of them on some gold pins here. How far apart do I want these? I don't want a million of them. You know what I'll do? I'll start at the sides and the bottom and I'll work out from there. Rebecca said, where do you get the gold pins? Oh, that's a very good question, Rebecca. When was the last place we found them? For a while, I was getting them at a shop on Etsy, and that's where I was getting them in bulk. But she doesn't have them anymore. She hasn't for a while. I think we found some on Cartwright's. I know Tammy will be watching this later, and she'll probably tell me where. I think we were getting some on Cartwright's, which they mostly sell sequins and stuff, and I think they have some of the gold sequin pins, but we have struggled to find these in bulk anywhere ever since that Etsy place went out of business. Paula said, if you think your desk needs cleaning, you should see my craft room. Kelly said Temu sells them. I like that. I like the pearls. I'm going to add a couple more in between. There's a spot where it's not hiding the edges very good. You guys, I like it. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and cut this. This trim almost gives it like an antique vibe, doesn't it? It really kind of lends itself to that whole shabby look of the fabrics. And then remember, we're doing a cameo in the center. We talked about that yesterday for those of you guys that were here yesterday. So that's going to go right there. I do have to put something on the back in the center too. And we're going to do a small bow. I'm not going to do anything super big. Hemis are weird with the bow. You have to be kind of like, I don't know, you have to go a little smaller with the loops. This is too big for the back of that, I think. And it's already going to be one on the front, and it's like a big heavy embellishment, so I think I want to go smaller on the back. Maybe a group of pearls. Or I do have the smaller pearl embellishment that we did the other day. That might be cute on the back. Kelly said the bubbled part is my fave. I'm gonna make a pincushion like the back. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Paula said the pearls make it look so elegant. I think so too. That was a really good idea, you guys. All right, let's do a bow first. I'm gonna do a real simple small bow. So the bow we did the other day, you guys, was these fabrics or ribbons. I think I'm gonna stick with that same look because I don't really have any greens that match this really well. So I think I'm gonna go with these same kind of rosy pink and light pink ribbons, but I'm gonna go much smaller and probably only maybe 2 tiers. We'll see. There's tier 1. I cut those at about 6 inches. These are 6 inches, and I'm just going to go a little bit smaller for the second bow. Do you guys still have your Christmas trees up? Anybody still have their Christmas trees up? I just dropped my ribbon on the floor. I've been slowly moving all of my ornaments off of my Christmas tree onto that big metal tree that I got. So doing that little by little, because I want to have a lot of these ornaments accessible to be able to show you guys. So I don't have to go digging around in my attic like I did today for the other tiered heart ornaments. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Barb said, what about a cluster of pink pearls in the center of the back? Whoops, that was way off. I think that could be really cute, Barb. Dana said, still up and being enjoyed. Peggy said, I do. It's coming down tomorrow. Nancy said, nope, Christmas is all packed away. I'm hoping to be able to say that by the weekend. I'm always sad to take it all down, but it's getting there. It's getting on the time to do so because just ready to clean it out. I think I got my stuff out this year like the week before Thanksgiving or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so it's been up for it's due. Okay, that's cute. Paula said, I like that idea, Barb. You know, I wonder if like doing a cluster of the pearls with some of these, like the pearls together with the crystals would be cute. Kathy said, my two are down, but I'm going through and donating the decorations that I haven't used over the years. Whoops, I bent my pen. Can I still get it in there? Yes. That's adorable. I like it. I'm gonna do the same hanger that I did on the other one. Peggy said, I keep mine up until Epiphany, but I have to admit that there have been years where it's been closer to Valentine's Day. I admit the same, Peggy. I've done the same thing. Where it stayed up a little too long. It's so much work. And it's way more, like you're way more motivated to put it all up, you know, in the beginning of the season. It's not quite as fun to take it down. So it just feels like it's a much harder task. I should have left these guys out because we're going to use a few more. Jenny said, now that the kids are gone and only one could make it home for Christmas, I didn't decorate as much. Okay, so we have our hanger. And let's play with the back here before we glue anything. Christy said, what about a tiny bow on the flat side? I think that a bow, oh, like on here? I think a bow could look cute on either side, but probably not with the bow on the top as well. I don't know though. Maybe like one of those little teeny, you're talking about just like a little 2-loop bow with 2 little things hanging down. That could be cute even with the bow on top. I think I'm gonna start back here with a cluster of beads, and we'll do a mixture of the pearls and the crystals, and we'll see how that looks. Oh, the rounded side. Jenny said that's a cute little bow. Yeah, it's cute. I'm probably smashing it right now, laying it down on his face like this. I don't know what it is about Hemis, but I just don't really like big fat bows on top of these Hemis. It looks unbalanced to me most of the time. Hey, Robin. Alice said, I found some shank buttons for the center of my pinwheel ornaments, which can easily be glued in place. Also use a pair of earrings for the front and back of an ornament. Love that idea. Bigger? Bigger than that, you guys? Should I go another round out, or do we like it like this? Nancy said, I put Christmas up and my husband takes it down. Sometimes vice versa. Well, that's good. At least you have help with it. That's nice. Robin said, oh, I love it. Thank you, Robin. Jenny said, what size pins do we use? I have a big box, but can't remember. Are you talking about for the main parts, Jenny? They are size 17, which is 1 1/16 inch, I believe. Peggy said, that is so true. My mom always said that the wreath on the door goes up first and down first. The rest of the world doesn't have to know what's going on the inside. That's funny. Paula said the combo of pearls and crystals looks great. Rebecca said, what size are the gold pins? Yeah, so we do tend to use both, Rebecca. It depends on like what you're pinning on. These guys are pretty itty bitty. I think they're a 1/2 inch. Let me measure really quick. Oh, nope, these are 3/4. These are 3/4. Okay, Paula said that's just enough. Jenny said keep it the way that it is. And Bev said I like it. Okay, so Jenny, yeah, the regular ones are size 17. CJ said, hi, all late again. I'm sorry, CJ. I was a little early today. Nancy said, the pearls and the crystals look good. Oh, Robin said, just finishing up the tiered heart. Just needs embellishing. Phil, I love it. Phil said, my tree is staying up and being decorated for the upcoming holidays. I really wanted to keep my ornaments up, which is why I got that metal tree, so that I could leave ornaments up all year, which I'm really excited about. This will be the first time I've ever done that. Robin said, agree, love it. Kathy said, love it. Beth said, time to click the like button. Thanks, guys. And I see lots of hearts going by. Thank you so much. Yes, CJ. Replay will be here. Thank you, Rebecca. You guys, thank you so much for all the hearts. I love it. Hey, Catherine. Alice said, definitely need a smaller bow for the Hemis. It's a beautiful ornament, very soft and sweet. Thank you so much, Alice. Okay, so now we just have the cameo. Everyone voted on the cameo yesterday. Now that you see the whole ornament, do you guys all still Like the cameo? Let me know what you think, yes or no, for the cameo. I still like it. Robin said, I've kept a couple of different things up, just help to brighten things up. Robin, I'm trying to figure out what I can keep that has lights, because I think that's what I'm going to really miss is all the lights, the Christmas lights. Yes, yes, yes on the cameo. Awesome. Okay, we'll glue this guy on here then. So I've got my iron plugged in next to me, and I only have one extra outlet, so we're going to have to go with some beacons again instead of hot glue, because I don't have my hot glue plugged in. Just getting my placement. We're going to go right here, right between those tiers. I don't know if that's enough glue. Dana said, does the cameo have pearls on it? Nope, it's more like it's got these little silver, not silver, it's got these rhinestones going around on this bronze base. It definitely has the shabby vibe though. Peggy said, not sure with the gold trim. CJ says, who says you have to take it down when you're tired of it? Then it's time. I agree. Jenny said that Factory Direct sells the 3/4 inch pins. I've ordered them from them before and it worked out. Okay, that's good to know. Paula said, yes, I live in northern Illinois. It's dreary and dark. The festive lights brighten things up. I don't know if I got enough glue on this, guys. Yeah, I'm going to miss the lights on the Christmas tree for sure. Robin said, I'm keeping the lights that are white and just a couple of things with color like floral arrangements. Nancy said, you need glue dots. We use glue dots all the time, Nancy. You know, the only thing, and we've even done tests. Tammy is really big on like testing everything. You should see this little spot she has down next to her desk in our shop. They're like glue dot tests and tarnish tests and all sorts of things like that. And there's like strips of ribbon with all these different embellishments that we sell in the shop that are stuck on with glue dots. And she'll keep track of how long they stay. And some of them have stayed forever. But this thing is pretty heavy. So maybe a few glue dots would work for it. You guys, I'm going to have to take a picture or like a short video or something of her little test spot. It's really funny. All right, we're going to let that dry. Peggy said the lights are what I miss too. There's something about when you take everything down, it feels really like clean, you know, all like less cluttery, and that part of it is nice, but there's just a coziness, you know, to the lights and the tree and the decorations and everything that I definitely miss whenever everything comes down. So you guys, we talked about this yesterday, but I did not mention it today. This is one of our patterns that we have here on YouTube. If you've never made it before, I put a link right below in the description. But today I made sure to also add a direct link to where you can get the printables, which included the coloring sheet. And then also, it also included this template, which has the fabric cuts that you need and the sizes and the template for laying your fabric out. So that link is directly below, you guys, if you're interested in making this. And also it has the hemi marking template as well. Ginny said, I have added white lights on some shelves and in my faux plants and in containers to add twinkle year round. I love that idea. I was thinking about doing that here in my office. Like, I'd really like to add some lights in here. I love the idea of doing it on plants. Dana said that's lovely. Paula said, I keep some of my Santa decorations up all year. I love it. Shirley said, hi everyone. Hey Shirley, you're tuning in right at the very end. You guys, I think we're done. This came out cute. I want to do more of these. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know about tomorrow. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm still afraid to totally mess with this too much. But in the next couple of days, I think I might try to do a different one, and maybe with like a whole different vibe. You know, maybe something that's not so shabby pink and floral and all that. Maybe we'll do something that's like more Valentine vibe or something like that. Jenny said, I buy my lights on Amazon. I'm gonna have to look. I want some ones that twinkle, and you said adding twinkle, so I'm assuming that maybe you have some twinkling lights. That's my favorite kind of lights. You're welcome, Kathy. Paula said, thank you so much. This was lovely. Such a beautiful ornament. Thank you, Paula. You guys, thank you so much for watching. I just love doing this. I'll figure out what we're going to make tomorrow. Not sure yet. Maybe another tiered heart, but maybe we'll do something different and then come back to the tiered heart on Monday. I'll give it some thought. In the meantime, I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your night. I really appreciate you hanging out with me to make these. I hope you're inspired and you make one too. All right, you guys, have an awesome rest of your night. Happy ornamenting.